Wait, don't we need some sort of something funny at the start, and then you can be like, ha 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 ha, and then it goes Working Title Productions, and then you introduce the show.
Well, that's gonna be it now. We're just gonna use that. What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Working Title. We're here for another movie talk. Ben has already given up on the channel.
He's just gone, nah, f*** it. We got 139 views on our first video.
Oh, the mic was too high. Oh, let me just adjust it. No, Ben has not given up on the channel. He's just away this weekend and is unable to film. So I have brought in my good friend and resident film expert, James McMahon.
Film expert? I failed one of my film subjects.
So, yeah, it's going to be me and James today. It's going to be a good show. Okay, that was awkward. I'm going to cut that. Yeah, so news broke this week that Batman v Superman might be getting an R-rated home release after its theatrical run. Which is big news because Zack Snyder's like a big... Like, he always used to do like R-rated movies and stuff. Like, his two best movies... No. Anyway, but 300 and Watchmen, obviously, two of his best movies. Out of like the 4 he's made, or whatever. He's made like 5 movies.
300's a pretty stupid movie, though.
300's great.
It's great, but it's...
Yeah.
Don't study...
But that's why it's great.
Don't study ancient Sparta before watching 300, because it will ruin the whole film.
That's exactly what I did. But it was awesome. And yes, that's pretty big news because obviously there's been a lot of hullabaloo about how well Deadpool's doing as an R-rated superhero movie. And
Hullabaloo?
Yeah, hullabaloo.
Is that a word?
I can guarantee it's a word.
Guarantee it's a word. Alright.
Do you reckon it's a word?
It's a TV series, Edward. I don't think it's a word.
Define hullabaloo.
Siri. Siri, what does hullabaloo mean?
The definition of hullabaloo is disturbance usually in protest.
Disturbance usually in protest.
Yeah, so I used it correctly.
Okay. Can't believe hullabaloo is a word. Although
it's
it is
a great
shock.
word. It's a great word. Come on, James. It's okay.
I hate this show.
And yeah, so there's just been a whole lot of talk about the recent release of Deadpool and how R-rated features and superhero movies can work together, even though we've had heaps of independent R-rated superhero films. Deadpool's really the first big one that we've had from Marvel or DC. And yeah, there's just been lots of talk about what in the future will be getting R ratings, and now I've heard that Batman v Superman will be potentially getting an R rating for its home release, even though the leaked report was from like September last year, so that doesn't matter. So yeah, we're just going to talk a little bit about what we think about this whole development in relation to both Batman v Superman and the industry in general. James.
James!
Batman v Superman.
Yes. First of all, I don't think it's going to be that great, to be honest. Just from all the trailers and everything.
Did you see the most recent one? So the one that opened with like the big Batman fight scene?
Yeah.
That was a rad trailer.
Yeah.
That was great.
But I just think they've put too much in it.
It's true.
I don't know how long. I mean, maybe if it goes for 3 hours.
151 minutes. So 2.5.
Maybe. But... Yeah,
But it's also Zack Snyder. He always puts a lot into his movies. Like, think about all the stupid supporting characters that Man of Steel had. And think about how ridiculous Watchmen was.
Anyway, what I was gonna say is that it's just, I feel like this director's cut, it's just gonna be more violence, right? Because it's not like there's going to be swearing or sex scenes.
Yeah,
that's going to make it R.
Yeah, the report
or
said
MA in Australia
that,
sucked in.
Yeah, the report said that it was only intense sequences of violence that is getting it the R-rated cut. So
it just sounds like Batman's just not going to have a very good time.
Yeah, probably.
Unless you, I guess, I mean,
maybe Superman.
I mean, in the
time.
trailer, you see like him. He's like, "It's time you learn what it means to be a man," and he like bleeds a bit in the trailer, which.
Yeah.
So maybe Superman is just gonna get beaten up, and maybe there's like a lot of civilian casualties. I don't know, like how?
Ooh.
How though? How are you gonna get that much violence out of a superhero movie?
Yeah, I totally agree with that because if like I can understand maybe a standalone Batman film getting an R rating, depending on the story that they did. Like if they did like a Red Hood story or even like Killing Joke style stuff, I can totally see that getting an R rating. But Batman v Superman, Superman generally isn't a character that has like these. Generally doesn't have stories that are like super gratuitous and stuff like that. It's very. It's like it can be serious, but it's generally very go happy, lucky, all audiences. I'm Superman. I'm the Boy Scout. That sort of thing.
And even when he dies, when in
Death of Superman.
The Death of Superman.
Yep.
That was creative. Good work, DC.
Yeah.
In like the animated series in the comics, I'm pretty sure he's just got like a few scratches and just like a little bit of blood coming out of his nose and stuff. It's like it's nothing like full on or anything.
Yeah.
But what I think is kind of like not ruining like movies and films and stuff, but like I feel like there's like this trend that's coming out where all of these filmmakers are like, okay, now I've got to put in like all this violence and stuff, and it doesn't like mean anything. It's like for no point.
Yeah.
Like if you look at Star Wars: Force Awakens.
Yep.
That was good. The fight scenes in that were all good and stuff. And the only thing I think that maybe was a bit too like far or silly was when Poe flies in and destroys like all those planes. And I'm like, well, what's the point of this? Maybe they're just showing how good he is at flying, but at the same time, it's just like, all right. Yeah. But in the prequels, like the fights, like they're like obviously they tried to make them mean some stuff sometimes, but a lot it's just all like.
It's very showy, very flashy.
Yeah, and even in Deadpool, like the parts where I found that I was most like I was engaged the whole time, but the parts where I found that I was least engaged was probably like when Colossus is fighting whatever her name is, and it's just like Angel or something, Angel Wings.
Yeah, Angel Dust. Angel Dust.
So, see, I don't even remember the name of the character.
That's because it was a boring character, that's why.
Yeah.
Gina Carano.
And when and like when Deadpool's fighting Ajax and stuff, that's a bit more like engaging and stuff. But even then, like at the same time, it's just seems to just be like just all this violence for the sake of having violence in a film.
I'm not sure if I agree with you on the Deadpool thing, like maybe with the Colossus fights and stuff, but I think Deadpool's character necessitates violence. He's a mercenary. He's a merc with a mouth, so I thought the violence in Deadpool was fine, made sense for his character. He's just like that sort of guy.
And like it was funny as well. So
it was funny. Like, but the only thing I will say about the violence in Deadpool is that we only kind of hear about how he's violent before he becomes Deadpool. Like we don't really see much. Like we see that little bit where he does that job for that young girl and messes up the pizza guy, but generally that's once again like a really silly scene. We don't really see this capacity for violence from Wade Wilson before he becomes Deadpool.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's the only thing I found strange about Deadpool.
Yeah.
He went from like 0 to 100 real quick.
And so with Batman and Superman, I feel like it's just going to be a lot of fight scenes already that are going to sort of feel like sort of become like 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 they'll be exciting. And then, but I feel like a lot of them also will just be like, because what's going to happen? Batman and Superman are going to have a massive fight, and it's going to be cool and everything, but it's just going to be like, all right, into the next thing. And then Doomsday's going to come in, and Wonder Woman's going to come in, and there's going to be another massive fight, and it's just like, at the end of the day, that's 2 hours of like fight scenes.
Yeah. Let's unpack Batman v Superman. 2.5 hours of fight scenes. Where do we think this extra violence can happen? So that clip from the start of the trailer, the most recent trailer, where Batman goes into the warehouse and he's fighting all the goons, that can be extra violent. I think that could be extra violent. Like he just like breaks bones and stuff, and like people end up with like broken noses and stuff.
The way he cheats in like everything now, because he's like, I don't kill people, and then like he just mortally wound them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Or like in the games and stuff, and you like grappling hook people off buildings.
Yeah.
Good times.
And like when you like run people over with the Batmobile, except it just like sends off like an electric charge and it's just like it's like didn't kill them. So I think there's the capacity for extra violence there, maybe. Superman won't bleed.
No?
From Batman, at least. Could...
There's a clip in the trailer in the second one that revealed way too much and just... No, there's like this one tiny shot and he's like, when the voiceover is like, it's time to know what it means to be a man. And then there's like a shot and he like smashes him against the wall and there's like a bit of...
Oh yeah, maybe.
Maybe just some nose action.
Yeah.
That's all you need for a good comic book movie.
Yeah. I don't think Superman will make Batman bleed. And I don't think Wonder Woman will bleed.
No. Wonder Woman.
At all.
So...
I was gonna say, period. But then I was just like, no. Yeah, so Wonder Woman won't bleed at all. Doomsday might make Superman bleed. And I don't think Batman's going to face Doomsday at all. Here's what I think the final act of the movie is going to be. Superman and Wonder Woman fight Doomsday, and Batman goes on like an infiltration movie and takes down Lex Luthor. So like he might fight Mercy, and then Lex Luthor might be in a mech suit or something. So yeah, I just find it strange. Like there's nothing really in here that necessitates it having an R rating. Like it's just generally be a standard superhero blockbuster. Well, I don't think it needs wherever they're going to fit all this extra violence.
And
in.
I think if
you... Oh, and we thought about that desert scene.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, maybe some stuff there.
Yeah. Well, that...
Because that's generally assumed to be a dream sequence.
Yeah, I was going
like
to say.
Superman like tortures Batman or something like that.
Yeah.
Or Batman
and there's all
tortures
bugs
Superman.
flying around.
Well, yeah,
and he's
people
got
think they're Apocalypse.
Some cool...
He's got some cool gear. Nightmare Batman.
He's just got a coat. It's weird.
Such a great suit though.
He's just got a trench coat on over the Batman suit and some goggles.
That's awesome.
It's basically just a trench coat.
He was wearing cargo pants.
Oh, of course. He's got cargo. Well, that changes everything.
It does. Yeah, so maybe some stuff in that scene because those bug things are assumed to be like Apocalypse minions because it's like just like teasing Darkseid. We've had that shot of the Omega symbol written into the sand and all that sort of thing. So yeah, unless like some major stuff goes down in that scene, major stuff. Yeah, like I don't know. I just don't really see where all this extra violence fits in.
But I think the start of the movie, there's in the first trailer we saw there's like another Batman origin story. Right? Because we saw his parents.
Oh, yeah.
Or something. There's at least going to be
that was like the Comic-Con
a flashback.
Yeah, a flashback to his parents' death.
Yeah.
Thomas Wayne, played by Jeffrey Dean Morgan of Watchmen fame, played the comedian in Watchmen, and now he's in Walking Dead playing someone that fans are excited about.
No.
I don't watch Walking Dead.
You know what, Ed?
What?
Neither do I. No, but
he's
no.
great.
So yeah, there'll be this like flashback or like origin thing.
Vision, dream, because it's very stylized.
Do you think they're gonna like
brutally murder his parents?
I was gonna talk about Robin. I was like, do you think they're gonna mention Robin or just like because there's a shot of the suit?
Yeah, I think Jason Todd has to be dead, but this might be pre Tim Drake.
There you go. And also there's
maybe
that
Tim Drake is just off 10 times.
And also
he's on a break.
Yeah, and also has to set up why Superman thinks Batman is not a nice fellow.
Yeah, definitely. We've seen those shots of the guy with the Bat brand and all that stuff.
And
like
then
that.
there's going to be the flashbacks from Man of Steel with Ben Affleck reacting to stuff happening
and saving people.
So the movie's not actually going to get started for like at least an hour.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Zack Snyder cuts it together because he's generally pretty good with non-linear stuff. Like Watchmen's extremely non-linear,
right?
And in terms of how it jumps about into all different eras and stuff, I found he did a pretty good job of it in that. Except for the final act, because there was a boring final act.
Well, I just think it probably doesn't matter how he does it.
Mm.
If he does all the violence well, I mean, it's Zack Snyder. If he does all the violence well, then I don't think it's going to be a good Batman vs Superman movie. And if it's going to be a good Batman vs Superman movie, I feel like there's no need for that like R-rated violence.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And yeah, it's super strange to me because let's be real here, the DC movie that's coming out this year that should have an R rating is Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
I think that movie is going to be held back by its rating because it's a movie about villains.
Yeah.
That's my personal belief. And then solid Batman film.
Well, you can murder lots of people off screen though.
It's true.
Like you
Look at
can
Dark Knight,
like you go me and you go bang, and then it cuts to a shot of you, just your face going, and then you just fall.
Yeah, it's true.
What? That's right. I'm studying film.
Yeah. I think a Batman solid film with the right story could be given R rating. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think all these like superhero films like need all these R ratings though.
Yeah, definitely. I reckon the rating should be used sparingly for films that
it worked for Deadpool, but like,
and it'll work for Deadpool too, obviously.
Well, yeah, if they were like, okay, now we're gonna do PG-13, like
that'd be so funny. Think of all the jokes.
Why?
Think of all the jokes, James. So yeah, those kind of DC films. Is there anything on Marvel's upcoming slate that you think needs an R rating? Or not really, apart from Wolverine 3, which is also rumoured to have an R rating.
See,
I don't think it's really...
Parents are going to take their kids to that.
Wolverine 3?
Took their kids to Deadpool.
Yeah, I know. There were kids in my
kids are just going to be like, it's a superhero movie. X-Men 1. It's got them guy from X-Men 1, Wolverine. And then they're going to be like, oh yeah, superhero movie. I'll make my kids love me. And then the kids are going to be like...
Well, parents will probably say Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, they'll be like...
Oh, they'll be like...
Intense scenes of violence.
So, you don't think Wolverine 3 should be R-rated either?
I think that...
Because I think Wolverine's a character that can do well with an R rating.
Yeah.
Do we think?
I mean, look, maybe give Wolverine R rating, but when does it stop, Ed? Where does it stop? Are you going to start giving, Avengers R ratings?
That'd be weird.
It'd be weird. It's just stupid.
They'd make no money.
You don't... I think a lot of the time it doesn't need it,
Yeah, I totally agree, but I think like for certain characters it'd be cool, but definitely most of the time they should be used like super sparingly.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, some films will have R ratings and some films will not. Don't take your children to an R-rated movie. And if you're not 18 and you have a child, don't take your child to the movie, and don't take yourself.
Alright, that's been another episode of Movie Talk on Working Title. If you've enjoyed the video, do like, subscribe, comment. We also have a Facebook page, facebook.com/workingtitle, YouTube, and you can follow me on Twitter at Mr. Spaghetti22.
If you want to follow me on Twitter, that's a dumb idea because I don't post anything. Join the discussion in the comments. Write your favourite R-rated thing that I should do to Ed. And I'll do it next episode. Even if it's sexual.
So yeah, this has been another episode of Movie Talk. You're watching Working Title Productions, and we're out.
I've been James McMahon. Do you want me to do something funny at the end? For the end of it? While you're...
Yeah, if you want.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you want.
We didn't do something at the end last week for the gaming one, but you can, if you really feel like doing something, you can. Just let me know. I can turn these feeds off anytime.